Create a new image with this simple technique. Okay, so let's dive right into this, and I'm going to show you how to do this. It's a very, very simple technique, and it works with various images. Finer detailed images like the flowers are better to work with though. So here we go. First thing you do once you have your base image in is duplicate the layer. Now that that layer is duplicated, and we repeat this process 6 or 7 times. In this case, I'm going to choose lighting. And I'm going to rotate it slightly. And then I'm going to duplicate that layer because we've already added the lighting to it. So it's already lightened. And then I'm going to twist that one this way. So you get the idea with this. I'm just going to do it with another 4 layers. Duplicate layer. Move that one over slightly. So each time I'm looking to move them just slightly, just to give me a different effect. And a final layer now. And we will just do that. And that's it. That's the steps. We now go into the edit. Now to edit this, unfortunately Luminar doesn't allow you to compress layers or stamp them together anymore. Perhaps they will in the future. So I'm going to export this out and then bring the image back in. Now that we've re-imported the image, I'm going to go into presets, and because of this type of image it is, I'm going to use the one that I created if you have seen the last video. Clean and crisp. And that's what we have for that. I'm now going to get into edit. Here is where we're going to change things around slightly and give it a different effect. So the first thing I am going to do is go into develop. Just add some smart contrast into this. And we're just really eyeballing the image. Each image is different when you do this. I'm going to go into colour. And we have got quite a lot of yellow in here. So let's go into the saturation of the yellow and let's pull it back just slightly just to see. That's actually quite nice. The greens I may pull back or push. Leave it at that. We're then going to get into details this time. And for the small details, I'm going to push them slightly. We may jump back into this edit. Medium details, push them slightly as well. Next thing is the landscape. I want to dehaze this image. That's a definite. So I want to do that. And that will help sharpen up what we can see visually. Add some golden hour as we have a lot of yellows and greens in there. I'm not going to use the foliage enhancer. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump down into the high key for this one. I quite like the effect that high key has with a lot of images. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some high key to this. And that's actually quite nice. Let's add some more glow just to see it. That works okay. The contrast. Yes, we'll take the contrast back. Get a softer image there. Standard high key, let's push the blacks in this slightly to make the flowers stand out more. Standard high key, let's push that a tiny bit more. And from here we are going to jump into glow. And we are going to add a soft focus to this first just to see how it looks. And that's okay, but I'm then beginning to lose the detail that I had in here because I want you to be drawn to that area. So I'm going to mask this. And I'm going to take the brush and I'm going to use erase. And I'm just going to take it away from this area. Now I can just take a big brush here and do that, or I can add a radial filter. And the setting of the brush is quite strong here. It's at maximum, so that's fine for this. I'm going to close down glow. I'm then going to reopen glow. And this time I'm going to add an autumn effect. And let's see how much we get from this. Go into brightness, pull the brightness back. Contrast. To around about there. Now you can experiment with this with your different images to see what you want to get from it. I'm going to go about there, just a tiny bit warmer. Go back into colour. And I'm going to pull the greens back slightly. And then last but not least, for this image, we need to crop it. Now, the reason we need to crop it is you notice that I have moved the layers. So we have to look and see where the layer is here. So take that into consideration when you are actually adjusting everything. So I can see it's in here, just down here a tiny bit. So I need to bring that back in. And then there's a line there as well. And take that in. Everything looks okay at the top. Let's crop that. Now just add the finishing touches and nurture the image to how you want it to look. So for me, I'm going to begin to develop. I'm going to pull this back slightly. Not too much. Put a tiny bit of smart contrast in. Pull back the highlights slightly. Shadows, we may lift them because it's got quite a soft, dreamy look here. And now I'm going to go back into colour and pull back the saturation. And we'll call it done at that. Hopefully you enjoyed that video, but I hope you get something out of it. It's just really experimenting with images and creating new works of art, shall we say, for this. Thanks again for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.